Yes, ma'am. Very good evening to one and all. We welcome you to the Deccan Positive Mental Health webinar series. We welcome today resource person Mutaya sir, Director of Mind Dynamics Center, Chennai, and we welcome participants and our teammates on behalf of Manasa Subkara Mindcare Hyderabad in association with the Eloban Counseling Center, Hyderabad, Forest Creative Heart Studio, Punjab. Thank you all. Over to intro section, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful welcome. And Muttaya Ramanathan sir serves as the founder and director of Mind Dynamics Center, Chennai. He specializes in psychology, hypnosis, transactional analysis, and neuro-linguistic programming. He has served as the president of Hypnotic Circle in Chennai for 14 years. In well over 35 years, he has presented training programs on all aspects of personality development to well over 1 lakh people in English and Tamil all over India. 1,280 people from 64 countries have taken his course Transactional Analysis A to Z in a nutshell in English and Tamil in the international educational platform udemy.com. And more than 200 of his video on all aspects of personality development are in the YouTube channels Mind Dynamics Tamil and Mind Your Mind with Stephen Raj. He has presented nearly 400 online lectures in several educational platforms in last 3 years. Today, he will be speaking on the topic Go Gracie and Be Normal. It is his 40th lecture in our forum. With that short introduction, I would like to hand over the session to you, sir. Happy to have you, sir. The floor is yours.
Welcome, thank you very much, Naveen, Dhankar Rao, Sunanda, Mangai Vatta, and all the people who are here. Welcome. The topic is couples psychology, and who are couples to start with? Couples could be very likely lovers, a man and a woman, or it could be college mates like boyfriend and a girlfriend, or it could be newly married people, or it could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years married couples, or it could also be same-sex couples like lesbians and homosexuals and living together people. People are living together, not married. They could also be lesbians and homosexuals in India simply because India doesn't recognize them and India doesn't allow them to get married also. So in that context, will be all these people can be called as couples, and in that context, by and large, what we take as couples who could be lovers or could be married people. My main focus will be there, and passing by references, I will also be talking about the other sorts of couples also. Many a time when we say couples, it means two people of two different genders, generally a man and a woman, and yin and a yang, a masculine energy and a feminine energy, and these two people coming together and biologically getting attracted towards each other, and they come into a loving kind of relationship, or in India it could be an arranged relationship also, right? So what happens is, before we go into couple psychology proper, what happens with these two people? It could be a man and a woman, as I told you, and the man could be brought up in a town area or a suburban area or a village area, and he could be the second son or the third child of the family, or he could have gotten educated in a school and a college in a remote area, and he could have studied maybe arts and science, and the lady could be the first child in the family, could have been brought up in a city or a downtown or a metropolitan area, well versed in foreign languages like English or French or some such, and brought up in a metropolitan area, and maybe studied or medicine or some such. And when these two people get married to each other, they're totally divergent areas. One is the second child or the middle child or the last child. The other one is the first child. One is in a metropolitan area or in a city, well bred and beautifully speaking in English and other languages. The other one could have been hailing from a suburban area or a town or a village, or they could be speaking only Tamil and the local language and studied only arts and science, not a professional education to be on themselves. And one could be a business person, or one could be an employed person, or one could be an employed person, the other one could be a housewife, or taking care of the household experiences or other things. And in that context, 25 years they were brought up in two different ways by two different cultures and two different locations and two different education institutions and two different kinds of friends and all those. And then we get them married and tell them live in this 1,000 square feet apartment all by yourselves and take care of yourselves and be married. And normally we say like Cinderella or other lovers and all those things, Anarkali and Salim and all, we say live happily. And I'm saying the irony or the joke or the beauty is how can they live beautifully? Then this person is from a totally different background and that person is totally from one another different background, and we bring them together and we say live in this apartment together, and they can't even understand each other. There's a cultural difference, there's an educational difference, there's a bringing up difference, and there's a family background difference. Everything is different. Nothing comes together to match them at all. And expecting them to live happily is the last thing that a person or a society can expect them to be. Are you with me? So many a time we come across a situation where man is brought up in a different environment, not necessarily exactly the way in which I told you. A man could have been brought up in a different area, the woman could have been brought up in a different way, and when these two people come together, it's really, really surprising or shocking that they could understand each other, they could converse with each other, communicate with each other, be with each other, relate with each other, and work together and sleep together and have sex together and bring up babies and create a family or raise a family. It's really surprising and shocking how come it happens. And all the more surprising when it is an arranged marriage, when the other person does not know the other person also, right? But then we expect them to be so, and everyone blesses, everyone greets them, everyone says, oh, you're going to be a happy couple, live happily, and this is my gift, this is my congratulations, appreciatory message for you. I'm saying it doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. It takes a lot of effort, lots of understanding, lots of flexibility, lots of giving in, lots of moving with the other person in order to understand the other person. Difficult for both the people. I'm not saying it is difficult for one person. I'm saying for both the partners, it is going to be pretty tough. And we came across such a situation, even in a loving relationship, maybe for about a year or two, and then they come to an understanding and they say we'll get married. And once they get married and stay together 24/7, and then they get to understand the other side of the other person. There is one other side which is never focused. Long as I was in a loving relationship, I was putting on my brave front and the positive front and all the happy front, and the other person also, she also has shown me her brighter side and the luminous side and the happiness side. And only when we came together and living together and 24/7 meeting with each other, being with each other, conversing with each other, and that's the time I can come to understand her, and she comes to understand me, and that could be the darker side or the negative side or hidden side or unknown side. In Johari window, they say not the open side. It's either the blind side from my point of view or hidden side from my point of view. And only the other person can tell me the other side of me and look at me from the other side, because I can't see my face by my own self. My eyes are directed only outside. I can only see outside. I cannot look at my face without help or without a mirror or without a person telling me this is how you look. Are you with me? So in that context, suddenly I realized that marriage is an altogether different game. So far, I was happy with my family members, brothers and sisters, mommy and daddy, my neighborhood, my college friends, my school friends, and all the other people, office colleagues and superiors and subordinates. Suddenly, I noticed that there is one another person coming into my life, and 24/7 I got to live with the other person. Same thing happens with the man also, same thing happens with the woman also. I'm not taking gender bias, I'm not taking one side of one person and highlighting only one side. I'm saying both the people. It's pretty tough to understand the other person, pretty tough to move with the other person, pretty tough to relate with, and then start living. Loving comes ultimately. You can't just like that love the other person, not knowing anything about the other person. Are you with me? So couple psychology is really, really complicated, really, really tough, and it takes a lot of time and effort and flexibility, right? And just like in management, we always say management does not know much. Management knows only so much. If management knows everything and there is a formula available saying that two hydrogen, one atom, one oxygen, they will make H2O and water will come by. 5 into 5 is 25. Multiplication table says so. If I do this, this will happen. So management also does not know. If management knows everything, and then the management this is how you run your office or run your business, and all the employees, subordinates, superiors, and colleagues, they get to know, and all problems will get solved in all the offices. Management does not know. Management does not have a formula to solve all our problems. E is not is equal to mc squared. It's much beyond complicated than the theory of relativity. Are you with me? So management is half-baked. Marriage is also half-baked. So I don't understand the lady, and the lady also does not understand me. And there is no specific formula available for us to tell you. Apply this couples psychology formula, and no more problems in your life. No way I can tell you that. Nobody can guarantee you like that. So by and by we get to understand, and what are the ways and means to get to understand the other person and then get along with the other person. That is all the focus of couples psychology. Are you with me? So psychology is all about your thoughts and feelings and actions, and how you behave in a given context based on the your earlier past life experiences and early childhood experiences also. So my internal mental process in the thought area and in the feeling area, and my external physical availability called my performance or actions or what I do, and all these things put together, that makes psychology. And how do I get along with the other person comes into operation, that becomes couple psychology, right? And some of the areas we need to focus attention on in couple psychology is how do we communicate with the other person. And communication, normally we say it has got to be open, it has got to be honest, it has got to be respectful of the other person. Irrespective of the gender, irrespective of the qualification, irrespective of the income that they bring in, irrespective of the salary or the designation or the position or maturity or knowledge or intelligence or wisdom or whatever, we need to respect the other person because the other person is my spouse, right? And then there needs to be empathetic listening and active listening and expressing my feelings and needs, understanding the other person's expression of feelings and needs, and avoiding destructive communication, not belittling the other person or putting down the other person, and being with the other person. Being with the other person meaning I'm totally 100% effectively, actively, empathetically, I'm listening to the other person with care and compassion, with love and affection, simply because the other person is my spouse. And then the idea of couple psychology is also to resolve some conflicts. Conflicts will always be there. If there are two people, there can be three opinions, because one person can change his opinion or her opinion after some consideration. So, in TIA also, in transaction also, we say you have the right to decide and you have the right to change your decisions also. So now it doesn't mean once I take a decision, I got to live with it as long as I live. No, I can also change my decisions. So if there are two people, there can be two opinions. If there are two people, there can be three opinions also. There can be four opinions also, right? And in that context, there is conflicts will arise. And the idea is to resolve some conflicts. Some conflicts can exist, we can live with them. Some other conflicts which come in the way as mental blocks, we need to work on them. And then there's got to be emotional intimacy. There's got to be intimacy, meaning a deep level of a depth level of affection and care for the other person. When you care for the other person, it is you are willing to let go of certain things, let go of some ideas, let go of some thoughts, let go of some feelings, and be with the other person because you care for the other person. You are not important now. The other person is important because you love and care. That's the area calling for emotional intimacy. And then there's an attachment. So far she was a lady, I was a man, and we were together living separately for 25 years. And then now that we got married, there has got to be an attachment. My wife and my husband, there's an ownership, there's a possessiveness. Too much of possessiveness creates a problem. No possessiveness also creates a problem. So I don't care for the other person, and if he comes, okay. If he doesn't come, okay. If he calls me, it's okay. If he doesn't call me, it's okay. Then there's no kind of relationship. We also used to say in psychology, if you take the baby, 3 years, 4 years old baby to a school, LKG, pre-KG, or play KG, whatever, and then you leave the baby there and you leave the baby in the school and come out, the baby is supposed to cry. Because the baby is attached to mommy, and the baby was dependent on mommy, and mommy suddenly has left the baby in a different kind of a place with different kind of people, and the baby is afraid. Baby doesn't know those people. There are children around, boys and girls around, there are teachers around, and these people are not known to the baby. So the baby suddenly, the 3 years old kid finds out it's a hostile environment. It is not a friendly environment. It's not a known environment. It's not a conducive environment for me. And then the baby starts crying, and the baby is supposed to cry. And the baby will cry on Monday, baby will cry on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then 2 days holidays, and then the Monday comes, again the baby cries, and then the baby realizes this is how my life is going to be. Mommy always around 8 o'clock, she will pick me up, or my daddy will pick me up, and they will drop me here, and I got to be living here. And the baby understands after about a week, and again after spending 2 holidays, get to understand that once again it gets repeated. It is going to be this way, and then the baby will manage some strategies. Let me make some friends here with the boys and the girls, and let me somehow manage these older people called teachers, and then amicably, how can I survive here for about 3 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours, and baby learns. Similarly, in a new environment, the man and the woman, when they get married and start living in a place, how do I understand the other person? Deep inside, I'm crying. Deep inside, I'm uncomfortable. Deep inside, it's an alien environment, not known to me, and I am not sure how is it going to be. On the other hand, I also put on a brave front and smiling, confident, and communicative, and telling the other person that I'm newly married, happily married, and all those things. But deep inside, there's a lurking fear. How is it all going to be? Right? There's got to be an attachment. By and by, you get to understand that this is my husband, this is my wife. I will take care of her, I will take care of him. And then we need to solve some problems together. Problems will come up, and we need to solve the problems. It's not one person's responsibility. Both the people sit together and sort out the problem. And they got to understand there's a relationship pattern. Some people talk, some people don't talk. Some people use body language, some people use silence, some people use cry, some people use smile, some people use gestures and postures. We need to understand the other person, and there's got to be a relationship pattern. Some people openly, they talk a lot. Some people touch and then they communicate, and some people don't talk and then they communicate. Some people buy you gifts and communicate. So you got to understand the relationship pattern. And then you need to identify what is my need and what is my expectation in this grounding, in this new setup called marriage, marital environment. And both the people have got to sit together, identify what are their needs and what are their expectations from the other person are in fulfilling their needs. And then they need to have positive interactions with each other, and communication in such a way that I will do what you want and you please do what I want. And the interactions and the communications will be positive, shall be positive. And then they need to manage stress that comes by. And with a new partner and new living environment, we need to understand that stresses and anxieties and fears and worries and all those things will arise. How do we manage them both? And then we need to enhance our intimacy, physical, psychological, emotional intimacy. And then we need to respect this is the way he is, this is the way she is, and we respect the differences. And we enjoy the differences also. Because whatever I could not do, she could do. Whatever she could not do, I could do. And I enjoy, I actually admire the other person could do that which I cannot do. I'm not jealous, I'm not envious, I'm not competitive. I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm simply saying this is something I can't do, this is something she does. And this is something I can't do, this is something he does. So you admire the other person's personality and the qualities and what comes forth, and then you appreciate and you congratulate, and you are really happy that your spouse could do those things. You admire the differences also, right? And then sometimes you bring in some surprises, make the other person surprised positively that something new comes up, maybe a gift, maybe a hug, maybe a kiss, maybe a cuddling, maybe a joke, maybe some cooking, maybe something brought from outside. So you surprise your partner. And then you give the other person space to be himself and herself. The other person wants to watch maybe Netflix, and you are more interested in the regular TV programs. So one person watches regular TV programs, the other person watches Netflix or Prime Video or some HBO or some such. So You have an interest in serials, the other person has got an interest in movie, or you are totally, or both of you are interested in documentaries. So you understand that you give space for the other person to be himself or to be herself, and you two learn each other and grow together and develop together. And you need to have some patience there. Idea is now in a single day you can. There is no magic wand telling you that by touching you with a magic wand everything will happen. No way. So you got to be have some patience. We say it takes about 40-50 years to understand your spouse. Hardly you are married to the other person, hardly 4 years, 5 years. Wait, it takes about 40-50 years to understand this is the way my husband is, this is the way my wife is. And then you need to celebrate achievements. Celebrate your achievement, celebrate the achievement of your spouse also. Right, when your spouse wins or achieves something, does something dramatic, you are happy as if it is your own because it's your spouse is your own. No. So in that context, whatever could be celebrated by your success, by the success of your spouse, both are your success only, both are your achievements only. And then have a regular chat to understand that by and by people change, by and by our needs change, by and by our goals change, by and by our thought processes change. So we have a regular check-in that what changed and what more could be accommodated. How could you understand the other person and how could you contribute to the other person's well-being also, right? And by and large, people might be knowing love languages by Gary Chapman. A part of couple psychology is always love languages, and over a period of years, we got to know, including what Gary Chapman said, is there are only 5 languages. And over a period of 10 years or 20 years, I have been researching on the subject. I am not able to find out a sixth love language because everything comes under these 5 languages. That's what Gary Chapman says. That's what everybody agrees also by and large. So one of them is offering gifts, maybe surprising gifts and remembering the special days and all those things. And then you bring in surprises. It need not necessarily have to be a one sovereign gold chain or a diamond ring or whatever. It can be as simple as maybe a hanky or maybe a doop stick or maybe a sweet or maybe a savory, maybe going for a walk in the park. Some things are that's surprising, that's a gift. Something you offer the other person. It could be the lady offering the man offering the lady. Both could be employed, or one could be a housewife and the other person could be earning. Irrespective of who you are, the idea is to surprise the other person with some gifts. Not necessarily cost effective. The idea is quality. The idea is again and again, repeatedly, simple gifts, making the other person happy. And the next one could be spending quality time with the other person. Quality time meaning when I am with you, and the other things do not exist. The other people do not exist. TV does not exist. Cell phone does not exist. And phone calls don't exist. And nothing exists. There is only you, there is only me. Just the two people. And then, this makes our life, this makes our world. So you can spend quality time having date night together. The lovers have dates. Similarly, the married people, irrespective of the situation, maybe you are married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, you can have date nights together, and maybe you can go out to a restaurant, and maybe you can have a candlelight dinner or a moonlight dinner, some such. And maybe you can cook together also, not necessarily that the lady cooks, not necessarily that the servant maid cooks or the cook comes and cooks. You can, two of you can experiment on something, reading something about what is there in the TV or what is there in the book, and then you experiment on, bring everything, buy everything, keep everything there, maybe cut vegetables, maybe bring in some sweets and all those, and then you start cooking. Both of you enjoy the whole process of cooking. Not necessarily that it has got to be sweet, it has got to be the top class like what you buy in a sweet stall. It could be whatever. The idea is being together and doing something together, and have some outdoor activities like walking or going for a ride, or sometimes they have a cycle with 2 seats. So one person in the front and one person in the back, and both of them pedaling, and one person steering it. And these kinds of cycles are there for people together. The idea is to be together, exercise together, enjoy outing together and all. And then have some maybe play some games like indoor games like carom board or chess or whatever, and then maybe go out and play something like maybe tennis, maybe cricket or whatever, join a team and be with them, and then do some creative projects like handwork or some such wherein the artwork, painting, drawing, or some, palm leaves and all those things, and just two people only, just two people and being together and spending time together and sharing a hobby and planning a getaway someplace else and think about where can we go, when can we go, how long can we go, how much can we spend, all those things, talking about it and being there and watching a movie together, watching a serial together. Maybe both of you are interested in romantic comedies or murder mysteries or something like CSI or NCIS or something on American Prison, some such. And then reading a book together. You read a book and then give it to her, and she reads a book and gives it to you. This is a nice book. Why don't you read? And then you share what is there and you discuss the characters there, the happenings there, and enjoying. The idea is the book is incidental. The book is giving you the connectivity. The book is making you happy. Book is making you a conversing point, offering you a conversing point. Not necessarily the book is important. Book is leading you to connect to each other. And you can do some exercises as a couple together. I'll do yoga, I'll do this exercise, and I'll be walking, and both of them are going together. And stargazing, night time. Maybe you have a camera, maybe you have a telescope, some such with that binocular, and you keep watching the stars and saying, "This is how it is," and enjoy astronomy, enjoy space, and tell yourself take free time, no technology at all, no PC, no cell phone, no TV, no nothing. It's only you and me looking at each other, looking at the face, looking at the expression, looking at the body language, looking at the face language, and enroll yourself in a couple of training program. Go together as a couple, enjoy the training program, come back and have a nice time also, and then have a feedback, reminisce. What happened in the training program, what was there in the book, what was told in the training, and what was the interesting point that you picked up from the training program, and how did you get along with the other people, did the exercises with partners and all those things, and maybe go for a spa or a massage together and have some deep conversations about maybe who am I and who are you and how come we got married to each other, what is family, what is love, what is life, what is death, what is bringing up children, what is the chain of command, like how did we evolve, where are we going, how are we going to create a super human being later. So you can have depth conversations also, that makes life interesting. So it's all called being with spending quality time with your spouse, and could be words of appreciation. Thank you for anything and everything. Thanks for you being you. Thanks for offering me a coffee. Thanks for offering being with me, conversing with me. Thanks for letting me know this is what's happening. And the idea is to thank. When somebody thanks, you say thank you very much, most welcome, always welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you for thanking me, and I always look forward to you thanking me. I always look forward to being of service to you and all those things. Don't say I don't mention. Don't mention. No mention. And tell me I'm so grateful to you for your love, and I cherish you. I love you. I'm happy being with you. I'm happy spending time with you. I'm happy spending quality time with you. And you have the makeover. You know how to make me happy, and I'm happy that you make me happy. I'm thankful for your patience, for being with me, for allowing me to be myself, and laughing together, smiling together, enjoying together, shoulder to shoulder, hand to hand, holding hands, and caressing and kissing and hugging and cuddling and all those things. We call them as these are all words of appreciation. You appreciate your spouse for being who she is or for being who he is. I admire your strength and the way you handle challenges. I admire the way you persevere and get things done. I admire your willingness to solve the problem all by yourself. I admire you for including me in your team in solving the problem or solving the puzzle or some such. And I appreciate you for always being there for me, supporting me, encouraging me. And I love you for who you are, unconditional love, positive regard, and I appreciate you how you pay attention to details, how you are able to say something in a nutshell, how you are able to narrate something beautifully in such a way that I could understand what you are telling me, understand the concept of what is being made available to us. And I want to be a better person, and I am really happy that you are there to guide me, and I appreciate your generosity, you helping other people out, and all the things could be words of appreciation. That's another love language. Another one is uh, sharing household chores. What are in every room there is something needs to be done. In the drawing room you need to do something, in the hall you need to do something, and with regard to electronic gadgets you need to do something, and in the bedroom something needs to be done, in the kitchen something needs to be done. Household chores are always there in every part of the household. And we need to buy certain things. We need to buy vegetables on a regular basis, and something always needs to be maintained, sustained, and repaired. Something new, something needs to be changed. Something needs to be thrown out, and dust and garbage needs to go out. Unwanted materials, unused materials, old magazines, newspapers, and all those things ought to be thrown out. Trash needs to be thrown out. So many household chores are there. If only you are willing to know, willing to look at, willing to observe, willing to watch, and willing to get to know, you get to know that there are minimum 10 to 20 different things that you need to do at this point of time in your house. I'm telling you. Every house, there are at least 10 to 20 things that need to be done, either by the wife or by the husband or by the children over there. And we are normally postponing them or shelving them. I will look into it later. I will look into it later. I will take care of it later. I will do it later. We are postponing and shelving simply because you don't want to do them. The idea is to share them. The husband and the wife, the spouse, both of them, they need to share what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. We need to set a deadline and say that by this time it has got to go out, by this time it has got to come in, by this time it has got to be organized, by this time this has got to be repaired, by this time we need to be working on this. So in every room, check up your drawing room, check up your table, check up your drawers, check up the shelves in the kitchen, check up the hall, check up the electronic gadgets and all those things. You need to know that something needs your attention and you are postponing it. Maybe a day, maybe like a couple of days, maybe weeks, maybe months. It's all possible. So the idea is understand that both of you will be very comfortable. The children will also be very comfortable if only these household chores are done properly. And if supposing the wife says bring vegetables, go buy vegetables and bring them. If the wife says chop it off, cut it down and give it to me, or say I am going to take care of the whatever is there in the hot plate. Share it. There is nothing called a woman's job. There is nothing called a man's job. When the ladies have started sharing all the bringing in income and going for a job, the husband necessarily needs to be sharing the kitchen job also. To the extent the lady is bringing in income, not to that extent the man is sharing the household work or the kitchen work. So we need to change. Man needs to change his perception, and more than the lady herself. Get it? So share household responsibilities, understand what are they, and share each of them. Sometimes depending on your availability, depending on your skill, depending on your height and weight, depending on the task that is on hand. So the one person shares more and the other person shares less, because one person is more employed and takes a long time to leaves home early and comes back late. The other person takes care of the household work more. And if one person has got more skill in doing certain things, then that person takes care of that angle more. So it depends on the skill and the availability and the time available and physically being available and the duration of availability during holidays or Saturdays or Sundays or weekends or evenings or whatever. So by and large, get to understand that we share responsibilities. And then the other one is the touch and the sex, not necessarily sex, but sex is not bad. Sex is not a taboo subject at all. So sex is also there, touch is there. As I told you earlier about the touching and hugging and cuddling and patting the other person on the back and massaging and all those things, they also have a role to play. Touch plays a lot of role, and body language is very, very important. And then touch reduces stress and anxiety. Touch gives you happiness. Touch gives you emotional connectivity. Touch expresses your love and affection. Touch brings in trust. Touch brings in intimacy. Touch brings an physical connectivity. Touch releases endorphins, dopamine, and oxytocin, and serotonin, and endorphin. All the four are called cuddling hormones or happiness hormones. When these hormones combine and we are happy, we make the other person also happy. So shared pleasure and being with each other and consent and physical health and all those things. Only when you touch the other person, you get to understand the other person at a different level. The other person is under stress. Only when you touch the other person, you get to know that the other person is under stress. Otherwise, you do not know. So beyond verbal language, the oral language, the touch and the body language and the sensation and the happiness that it brings forth and the chemicals that it brings forth, all those things are very important. And we can also plan some time together, like watching TV time together. Maybe 8 o'clock at night to 9 o'clock at night, 1 hour we will sit together and we will watch this serial regularly. Could be Tamil serial, could be English serial. By and large, I tell people, do not watch the serials in your vernacular languages. But to my knowledge, no single TV serial in Tamil is healthy or positive or conducive for a family environment. Almost all the Tamil TV serials in all the TV channels are really negative, and they talk about all kinds of problems and challenges in the family, and they take you into a negative environment. And when your husband says something, immediately you start connecting it with the TV serial. That hero was also doing the same thing, and that gives you connotations and underlying messages and hidden messages, and you start suspecting, you start less appreciating your husband or your wife. So I strongly recommend avoid your verbal language, oral language, your mother tongue serials. I think what is good for Tamil holds good for Telugu also, Malayalam also, and Kannada also. I don't think they are any different. So the best thing to do is to watch English serials and romantic comedies and romance, and they put together. It's a romedy channel. Check up the romedy, check up the Google and the internet, and that gives you all sorts of information. So romantic comedies, and if you keep watching them, that takes you to a romantic mode. Comedy is good, romance is good, happiness is good, right? So in that context, find out some of these things and to pick up a genre. And I want to watch this kind of things, murder mysteries, how do they solve? And then you go about the intelligence that is made available in solving a problem, right? So in that context, they will tell you very many things. And I usually watch murder mysteries and psychology programs, and also about American President. From my point of view, American President is the largest and the biggest office in the whole world. And if you can know how the American president runs his office, we can always learn a lot about all the other kinds of offices. So find out the genre that you like, and maybe you can go for your black and white movies or classics or romance or adventures or some such, and then learn them, right? And then you can have candlelight dinners within the family environment, within the apartment, within your flat or household or whatever. Or you can also have moonlight dinners going out into the park or in the open area if it is available in your individual household, or you can go to the terrace if it is available. And the moonlight dinner, not necessarily only on a full moon day. The 2 days before full moon day also moon is available. After full moon, 2 days after full moon day also moonlight is available. Only thing is there will be a mild difference of timing. So understand the timing. On every month, I tell you, there is a possibility for us to have moonlight dinner for about 5 days in a month. See that if your children are there, bring them children. If the children are not there, you too want to be there, be there. And candlelight dinners create a different kind of an ambience and happiness. Maybe you can order something in Zomato or Swiggy or Dunzo or whatever, and then have the food. Not necessarily that you need to cook. So bring in some candles, put off all the other lights, and only you and the other person. That creates an intimate and comfortable and romantic zone, romantic ambience and surrounding and setting. And in that context, eat whatever you want. It could be a dessert, it could be pizza, it could be salads, it could be ice cream, it could be non-vegetarian stuff, whatever you like. And go slow. The idea is to enjoy each other's company and not to eat too much. Enjoy what you're eating and enjoy slowly. Maybe start by 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and go on till maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and converse with each other and be happy with each other. Candlelight dinners and moonlight dinners bring people together. And you can also go for a walk. Even if you have a conflict or a problem or a fight or a quarrel with each other, I strongly recommend go for a walk. Maybe for about 20 minutes, half an hour this way, about a kilometer or so. Normally, when you're walking, slow walking, not brisk walking and all. Slow walking and talking to each other, conversing with each other, not necessarily looking at each other, looking at everything around you, and safely walking in a platform or a curb or a pathway and talking to each other. You can also resolve some problems. When we go for a walk, normally what happens is one person starts complaining about the other person. Allow the other person to complain. You did that on that day. You said this on Monday. You said you did this today morning. And just now, when before we started, you did this. She and you start complaining and allow the other person. Don't interrupt the conversation. Don't say I didn't do that. Don't say you are wrong. Don't immediately start an argument. Allow the other person to talk. And one person, it could be a man, it could be the woman, and they are talking. When they are talking, you don't normally raise your voice. When you are talking, normally you don't raise your hand also. And the body language and gestures are normal because you're out in the open. And both of you are talking and allowing one person to vent everything out. And then by and by, maybe about an half an hour walk, and you come someplace and maybe a tea shop there, maybe a hotel there, sit there and have a coffee or a tea and then walk back. At that point of time, whoever was complaining will be the person apologizing and telling you, sorry, I should not have said what I said. I was angry, I was upset, and that's the reason why, please excuse me, sorry. The other person will automatically allow the other person to express vent out. Allow the other person also to say, look at the other side and talk about the meaning. Give them the space to vent out. Give them the space to be themselves. Give them the space to express themselves. So get the point. And maybe maybe today it so happened one person was complaining. The next day also one person was complaining. Third day also one person was complaining. Maybe about a week the same person was complaining about the other spouse. After about a week, he noticed that there is nothing more to complain about. All the complaints got exhausted. And by and large, I tell you, when the person who is complaining, he is not much interested in getting the problem solved or complaint solved. What he or she wants is to express. Once they express, they feel comfortable, and then it's all gone out of my head, gone out of my system. I'm happy. So allow the other person to vent out. This is one way to solve the problem. Also, you can also positively enjoy walking together, walking with each other, and maybe in a park, maybe in the pathway, maybe in the terrace, maybe in a garden, maybe go to some other different kind of an area like swimming pool or some such, and go around. Identify an area. Maybe it could be a large gated community, and there's a lot of space available for you to walk around. Walk around. Make it a point between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Maybe 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock after dinner or some such. Make it a point that you walk half an hour every day, and then you enjoy walking with the other person, enjoying each other's company. The idea is health benefit is there in walking, and emotional benefit is there in communicating. Emotional benefit is not there even if you are not communicating, because you are together, you stay together, you walk together, enjoy each other's company, not necessarily at home, being outside also, right? So walking together, that becomes a quality time that relaxes you, that becomes a physical activity, that's a relief for your stress, that gives you your privacy to be with yourself, with each other, and not with other people in the family. That creates a romantic ambience also. And see that you are in a comfortable attire, and there is safety, security there in the area in which you are walking, and you are enjoying each other's company, right? And then sometimes learn to be without your children. The children are not bad, and in Indian context, they say once children come by, it is your duty 24/7. You need to be with children. You need not necessarily have to be with children always. There could be times wherein you can be without children. How can I be? Set it up in such a way that there are always uncles and aunts, brothers and sisters born with you, brothers and sisters born with your spouse, husband or wife, and there is neighborhood available next door, or maybe in the next apartment, or in the upper floor, and the lower floor, or the ground floor, or the office colleagues also. Identify people who have children similar to your children, the age group also, and then tell them that I would like to leave my children with you, my son and daughter with you. Take care of them for the evening. We are going out, and then let them be there, and then tell them you can also take time out tomorrow, maybe next week. You bring your children also and leave them here, and we will take care of them. We will give them snacks in the evening. We'll give them dinner in the night time also. So by 5 o'clock, you start going out, and maybe come back by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock when they are sleeping. Then pick them up, and you can take them home. So that way, take care of other people's children in the same group, and allow your children also to be with the other uncle, auntie, relative also. It could be neighborhood also. It could be your colleagues also. So either way, the ladies' colleagues also, the men's colleagues also. Understand, we never ask and we never think. We always think in Indian context, it is your duty 24/7, 365. You got to take care of your children. You cannot be without your children. All the other people are bad people. No way. If your children can be comfortable with you, other people's children can be comfortable with you. Your children can be comfortable with other parents also, right? So talk to them. Sometimes by and by, if you notice that they are very comfortable with each other and with the other people, you can leave them for 2 days, maybe on a Saturday or Sunday, and Friday evening you can take off and go someplace else and be there. Maybe visit from Chennai about 100 kilometers or 500 kilometers. Take a flight and go 1,000 kilometers, and then be there and come back after 2 days and see that those people, you can also leave your children with us for 2 more days. They will be playing with our children. We will take care of them, and you can take off all by yourselves. That way, you are creating happiness for you, and creating an intimacy for you, and creating a privacy for you, and creating your vacation and your recreation and your happiness and your pursuits and whatever you wanted to visit and be with. And you also encourage the other person to be with, and they can be on their own, and you take care of those people's children. We don't think in those terms. We think it is bad. We think we are very bad people if we leave our children with other people. We think we are not okay people if we leave our children with other people. No way. People are generally good. People are happy people. People are trustworthy. You only need to connect. If you are trustworthy, they will be trustworthy. If you are trusting, they will be trusting, right? And then have that way, and also withdraw. Withdraw meaning not from the spouse. Both the people withdraw from other people, sit together. Tell your children, mommy and daddy are going to talk to each other between 8:30 and 9 o'clock at night. Don't disturb us, and you play there, and you watch TV, or you do whatever you want to, or do homework, and mommy and daddy will be together, maybe half an hour every day. And then you talk about what happened during the daytime in your office or at home front, and both of them employed to talk about each other's office and what happened there, and happiness and sadness and setbacks and achievements and appreciations and workload and stress and all those things. Every day the husband shares with the wife and wife shares with the husband. If something happened in the family also, something went wrong, something went right, some problem with the plumbing area or carpentry area, electricity area, or some other area, the one person tells the other person. It's sharing, it's not complaining. So we get to know each other, and there is a together time also, there is quality time also, and we understand each other. There is an emotional connectivity, and together time we understand these are the things that is happening in the other person's life every day. Every day in the life of my wife, in the life of myself, both of us talk to each other, converse with each other, understand each other, and then it becomes much easier to connect with the other person. When the other person is sad, I immediately understand. Yesterday also he was saying the same thing, maybe something wrong and it's still not solved. I understand, and then I will take care of him. The same way, the man could be doing the same thing for the wife, and the wife could be doing the same thing for the man also. That way we care for each other. The idea is to withdraw from all the other people. It's not the quarreling time, it's not the complaining time, it's not finding fault time. It's a time to understand each other. What happened in my life during daytime, in the family or in the office? Both of us talk to each other every day. If these things are being shared, I totally, fully, 100% understand my spouse, and the other person also understands me. That makes for a quality relationship, right? So babysitting is good, holidays is good, dinner light, moonlight dinner is good, candlelight dinner is good, having a vacation is good, leaving children with other people is good, taking care of other people and babysitting is good, withdrawing from other people is good, and sharing your stories are also good, aspirations are also good. So when we could do all these things, and I care for my spouse, she is my spouse, and he is my spouse, and I will do whatever it takes in order to make the other person happy. Because see, if it is my motorcycle, if it is my car, I will take care of it. Similarly, if it is my wife, if it is my husband, I will take care. And then there is unconditional positive regard and love. Not necessarily that there's a condition, not necessarily that it must be this way. So irrespective of what happens, I accept you, I fully accept you because you are my wife. I accept you, I fully accept you because you are my husband. I love you, I love you. I love you for no reasons. I love you because I love you. No other reasons. Because you are my spouse, I love you. Because you are my husband, I love you. Because you are my wife, I love you. So when you come from this possessiveness and this romantic kind of relationship, and you care for the other person, and you express it through body language and verbal language, day after day, hourly basis, everyday basis, ongoing basis, continuous basis, if you could do that, so and then the couple psychology works. Your life works beautifully, your spouse's life works beautifully, and you enjoy each other's company, you appreciate each other's company, and she falls in love with you, and you fall in love with him, and that way it works. I am pretty much done. Thank you. Wow. Interact.
I feel, Dr. Mutaya, that both husband and wife should attend the program. Not only a wife or not only husband. Because husband acquires a bit of knowledge. Wife has not yet acquired. Then I can't bring Mutaya's speech to her. If both attend, that will be better. But doesn't matter. Because I was struggling with the idea, not now, for a long time, that a perfect couple means there need not be conflicts. Later on, it took time for me to understand, age and so-called wisdom, that conflict is natural for human beings. If two
Yes.
people stay together, that too 24 hours, then
Yeah.
after it, there will be a conflict. Only thing is how best to resolve the conflict with understanding and love. Even if one person doesn't understand, other person should have that capacity and competence to understand, cajole, convince the other person. Anyhow, thank you. Wonderful session,
Welcome.
undoubtedly.
Welcome. Based on your experience. Good. That. And others?
Mutay sir,
Welcome.
so you have begun the talk with a comparison of village and metropolitan city. So really, because I have a friend who is from a village and an Orthodox family. He married a woman, a girl from Bombay, metropolitan city.
Oh God.
As you said, family, culture, education, everything there are difference. But ultimately, they are forced to divorce. So, as you said, there are ways to improve the relations. We have to give classes before their marriage. That is essential.
You're absolutely correct. I know a couple of families, two families I will refer now because you brought it up. I'll tell you two more examples, real life examples. Husband studied only up to +2 and he is a businessman. And he made it because he was not educated. He told his wife to study MSc psychology, and then the lady joined just now PhD, and she joined PhD now in a university in Chennai here, and he said, if you get a doctorate, I'll be happy. So the husband is doing everything to see that his wife is getting educated and she becomes a doctor, PhD doctor, one area. Another dimension is one another person, under again psychologist, and both the people studied together MSc psychology in the college. They fell in love and they got married. And the husband really wanted to do PhD, and the lady said, "I will go for an employment for 3-4 years, and you go study PhD, and you get your doctorate, and then I will resign my job. I will take care of the house." And then she was working for 4 years, and he did PhD, completed PhD. He is now doctor in Chennai and a trainer also. And his wife said, I went for a job only to see that you get your PhD. I'm not interested in working. I want to remain at home. And then now she is at home. And every time I look at him, I pat him on the shoulder and I tell him, "Hey, don't call yourself doctorate. It is your wife who is a doctor and who made you a doctor." And both these are real life examples in Chennai. As you said, truly.
Again, as far as my personal,
Don't say personal. Babu, your wife will hear. If she's nearby, you are danger.
I invited her, but she told that I won't improve.
And undoubtedly, no husband will improve in the eyes of wife.
The one thing I learned is that when we go for a walk, that is, I feel my mistake. I take a longer pace and at least 50 meters ahead I will walk, because I consider only the health aspect. But you mentioned the emotional aspect. That is very important. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Good point.
Thank you.
Among others?
Aru, no questions? Okay. I think he has complete so exhaustively covered. Everybody's doubt is cleared. It looks like that.
Good evening, sir. I'm Jyoti Raja here.
Wow, welcome.
They're not, sir, after his speech, everybody start thinking whether we are going for what direction we have to go. It's a kind of eye-opener, and you're given so much of insight to the people. Now they started thinking their relationship, how it is going to be, and where exactly they have to make the changes. Thank you very much, sir. It's a wonderful session. Even though I missed half of it, but still, I thoroughly enjoyed the second part of it.
Welcome. The beauty of psychology, and especially couple psychology, is when you start talking, you will immediately start looking into yourself.
Exactly.
Because the topic is such, the nature of topic is such, you got to look at yourself and your spouse. Automatically it will come by. You just cannot segregate it and look at it objectively. It becomes automatically subjective. And then you also realize that without the other person pointing out, this is an area where I have committed a mistake. I should not have said that. I should not have done that. I could have handled it in a much different way. So those insights will come by. My idea is not to pinpoint or complain, but I'm saying as I keep talking, naturally these things will come into your mind. And that's a good thing. That's the objective of the entire program. Happy.
Hi, sir. I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, sir. My name is Gauri Shankar. Sorry, due to some technical problem, I'm unable to turn on my video. So I'm completely new into this session, and I got the meeting link through one of my friend. Okay. So upon listening to your, whatever the message that you have conveyed, I personally understand, what are the things that I'm missing, or what are the things that I can improve. I don't mind. I think I'm one of the youngest folk in this entire crowd. I'm 28 and I'm married for 2 years now, and I currently have 1 year baby. Okay, so we were literally happy, sir, from the time we got married, and I don't mind sharing my personal experience. And luckily, she's not here. She's out. So yeah. So I'll tell you my problem, sir. Upfront. So for 1 year, we've been completely happy. Where the problem started is as soon as we got a kid. Okay. So problem is she's extremely possessive towards my son. Okay, and right now she got a feeling that the complete family or everyone around her is trying to trying to take ownership of the baby. So due to that problem, she is completely against the entire family, and she was completely, she had a good relationship, healthy relationship with everyone, but right now she's kind of possessive that whatever happens or things around her looks, it's completely against her. And this is the core reason where our relationship gets stuck. So right now, what I'm currently following is that I'm allowing her to speak, and I'm allowing her to, whatever the decision that she takes, I'm completely, I'm on it. But my only point is, will this behavior improves if it's going to improve day by day, or if she's going to think that the entire people around her is trying to separate her and her baby? End of the day, it is going to affect my son's life. So I don't know how to, handle this, tackle the situation.
So I do get your point. Where are you now?
I'm in Chennai. Villivakkam.
So get hold of some psychologists, psychotherapists.
Okay.
The counseling will help. Number one.
Okay.
And create a safe environment for her to think that this is my husband and there is nothing wrong with taking care of the baby, and I need not necessarily have to be 24 hours take care of the baby. And you got to create a trustworthiness.
Okay.
Trustworthiness doesn't happen in a single day. It
Okay.
is like a contact certificate. So when you give a contact certificate, you tell the other person not necessarily what to talk qualitatively talk about the other person. You talk about the quantitative time over a period of 5 years, 10 years. I know the other person and the other person is good. Then it becomes more meaningful. I know the other person for 1 week and then I'm giving you a good, excellent contact certificate. Then that doesn't work. So
Okay.
trustworthiness comes by experience and comes by practice. Over a period of time, only she will be able to get the point that my spouse is trustworthy. You got to create the ambience and the setting and the surrounding and the loving, caring relationship in such a way she will be able to understand that it is okay. My child need not necessarily have to be taken care of only by me. My child can go out and play and all. And the therapist can always, psychologist can always help you, right?
Sure, sir. Definitely. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And it was a very informative session, and it's like an icebreaker session for me. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome. Also tell your wife, or don't tell your wife you have a problem and we are taking you to a counselor. Tell
Okay.
her that for well-being or happiness, to be together, to take care of, to better take care of the baby, we are consulting a person or meeting a friend like.
Okay.
Don't cheat also.
Okay.
And they say it's a friend and then they take you to the therapist. So tell her that we are going to a psychologist and he is a qualified person, he or she is a qualified person, and then they'll be able to guide us to be happy, right?
Definitely, sir. Thank you very much.
A complaint,
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
right?
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
It was a really wonderful session, sir. Thank you so much. And I would like to, convey my review. That is, if husband and wife, if they follow your guidance, definitely they will be away from this BP, sugar. 90% of diseases go away, and they will live happily, and they will have a romantic relationship.
Welcome.
And by seeing this, even children will grow nicely. It's a really wonderful session, sir. Thank you so much. And I would like to suggest, if Gauri Shankar is hearing, either you contact Muttaya sir or Sunanda madam. They are the best counselor.
Yes, I'm
If you resolve conflicts, your life will be really beautiful. It will take at least 10 sessions. You go and consult. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
recommendation will be it's a lady psychologist will be all the more better.
Okay. Definitely, sir. Thank you.
Namaste, sir.
Chitrama.
Yeah, even I am using every day your sessions. So, very thankful to both of you. Someone said right now, so she's our lady who nature, to close to nature and always talk about nature. And Muttaya sir, not to say anything. Whatever his section takes, I really feel that day is my day. So I can't express right now feelings, but both of you, thank you so much Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Good evening, all. So, really, it's a fantastic session, sir, as usual. One thing I doubt, in the situation like when there is a domestic violence, how can that problem be solved?
Domestic violence, you always need to consult a psychiatrist.
Okay. So, in some cases, so we
Domestic
can't,
violence, it doesn't come under general psychology and normal way of behavior. There will be upset, there will be quarrel, there will be anger, there will be shouting, and all those things will be there. But it becomes violence, then we need the help of a psychiatrist.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sunanda madam.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Thanks a lot to all the participants, especially Sunanda and Dinakar Rao.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure having you here. Welcome.
Sir, good evening, sir. As usual, very fantastic session, sir. You are talking about intimacy all over your session. Was very nice to hear. I have only a small question. What is that now? When you said all intimacy and all that, when the spouse comes so close, intimacy goes on, but one time, at a point of time, that started depend on one each other. Is it good or not? When one person is dependent on, because of this intimacy, it goes on very deep. That will lead to break, no? What's your opinion, sir?
I don't know if it is symbiotic relationship with transactional analysis.
That is what I am saying.
That's a
yes,
problematic area. So
yes,
you got to have your three ego states, parent, adult, child. The other person must also be allowed to have his or her three ego states. It becomes too much of dependence or too much of possessiveness and too much of leaning on the other person. Maybe a child or a parent or adult gets left out, and that's a problematic situation.
That point you have to understand. So that is why I see in very close relationship now they get married for the first time. They get married. So many relationships now very close. Akka ponnu, mama ponnu அப்படினு கல்யாணம் பண்ணும்போது after sometimes they start break. I think because of that symbiosis. I think so. This is what I wanted to convey. Thank you, sir. Very good sessions.
Symbiosis is a problem area, and we need to know that the other person must have existence and life all by himself and herself. In symbiosis, one person gets part of the relationship, and totally the other person takes over his life or her life. That's not okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Calls for counseling.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
To give VOT to Dr. Muthaiya is a great pleasure. Anyhow, wonderful session, and I too have picked up some points. And on behalf of the Deccan Positive Mental Health, Mansa Subakara Mind Center, Yellow Pond Counseling Center, Forest Creative Art Studio, and on behalf of all the participants, some of the participants who have actively participated, I highly, from the depth of my heart, I thank Dr. Muthaiya Ramanathan and hope to see you again in a month's time.
Welcome. We will do that.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. Thank you, Sunanda.
It's an honor and a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Muthaiya sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good day.